When Troy Aikman calls out his former backup quarterback, you know it's bad. But what's he supposed to say? What's he supposed to say? You know what's fascinating to me? We can all conclude that barring some sort of late rally, and it could happen. You know, it could happen. It feels like Jason Garrett is gone. And if you don't believe me, I'm going to play for you in a moment Jerry Jones on a Dallas radio station, his weekly hit, where in an effort to not say anything and to not get in trouble, he told us way too much. Way too much. Get to that in a second. But I'm always amazed by this. Right? I'm always fascinated by who gets the blame. Don't get me wrong. Blame should be handed out. The way it works in real life is the same way it works in sports. In sports, you go back, watch tape, and you start to go through and go like, who messed up? That's what real coaches tape does, is who messed up. It's one of the hard things for coaches when they become broadcasters, or players when they become broadcasters. When you're watching replays, you know, you generally want to make things light and happy and positive, but the way in which we've been taught, or most of us, especially have been raised by a coach like I was and coached by good coaches, you watch tape and you try and figure out who screwed up. That guy didn't do that, and that's why that happened. I'm fascinated by the fact that no one has pointed out this is embarrassing to the Cowboys players. Is coaching an issue? Sure. And Jerry Jones has made it a bigger issue by pointing out coaching mistakes that he believes have been made. He's not necessarily wrong about that. But have you noticed that very few people have gone out and said, hey, you know, Dak Prescott is not only supposed to be a really good quarterback, and he was not last night, but isn't Dak Prescott supposed to have some leadership, some intangible to him? He had the it factor, right? That's what we're told. It's an it factor. But is the it factor only there when they're winning? Dak Prescott apparently is only responsible for the winning, not for the losing. His leadership is only good when the team is good. It's not bad. Like, look, when the boat is taking on water, is it the captain's fault that it ran aground? Sure. That it ran into the iceberg? Absolutely. But grab a damn shovel or get a big bucket and fill it full of water and get it off the boat. It is amazing the lack of accountability for everyone not named Jason Garrett. The one person that probably pointed it out is a guy who I feel like, I'm just going to say this. Like, look, I know Troy came at me on Twitter about the Andrew Luck thing. We're big boys. Like, that's the way it works. It's okay. I think he's been really good this year. I think he's been really smartly and strongly opinionated using his own perspective. Listen to Troy Aikman after the game last night.
I don't know how you come back from this. I really don't. And this is on the players as much as it is on the coaches. They've got to be better, but I'm not sure I'd even talk to the team this week. But the talk is over, and it has been over for a while.
Yeah, talking is over. Talking is cheap. People hear that and immediately think that Jason Garrett should just quit and shut it down. Don't even talk to him. No, the point is that what good comes from talking to them and motivating them? Like last week, remember Jerry Jones went in there and he's like, man, there were guys crying and everybody was fired up and everybody was motivated Sunday. And then, of course, they go and lose. Look, it's devastating when Brett Maher misses another field goal and they haven't cut him yet. Why is he still on this plane? Most of these guys had been thinking. But this comes down to performance, right? Remember when Dak Prescott first couple games would be like, man, pay him now. Pay him now. And I said, whoa. Dak Prescott is Draymond Green. Man, Draymond, when he's got Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and Kevin Durant and Andre Iguodala, and nobody I would rather have as my integral piece to the offensive and defensive puzzle. Doesn't need the ball to be successful on offense, can guard all 5 positions, but left in a role of leadership when everything else is gone. How's Draymond doing this year? Right? When things are going good, Dak Prescott is a leader, is a franchise quarterback. When they're playing against crummy teams, they're playing against that Bears defense, and things get difficult, where is the leadership now? I want to be paid like the top-level quarterbacks in the NFL? Hey, Pally, I want to play a little better. I want to lead a little better. You might want to beat a team with an above 500 record. Just a thought there, huh? And I don't think that Dak Prescott is the only guy who should bear responsibility. It wasn't good last night. Nothing can tell me otherwise. And it's not just his own performance, it's his team's performance. He's responsible for it. That's his team. Yeah, I mean, look, the most comical part about this entire thing is, and some of it I know is made for TV. Michael Bennett knew he's on TV, and so he's pumping up the team. Michael Bennett's been on the team for a month. By the way, it's the worst month of the Cowboys thus far, and he's the one firing up the defense? If that doesn't tell you just how dysfunctional, what a vapid wasteland of leadership the Dallas Cowboys have, nothing will. Michael Bennett has worn out his welcome with several teams the past couple of years. He shows up, you're not playing well, and he gives some hard passion speech which doesn't actually have the players responding to it. I give you the Dallas Cowboys. I want you to listen. This is the question. This is the answer that everybody's talking about. I'll tell you what I hear. And you listen to Jerry Jones earlier today on a Dallas radio station.
All right, Jerry, you come on every week, win or lose. You answer questions. You know the Tolos and the Cowboys fans want answers today. What answer do you have for how this team is playing right now?
We're not playing very well.
Are you embarrassed? Are you embarrassed as an organization about how the team is playing?
Get your damn act together yourself. Okay? Now, we're going to have a good visit this morning, but settle down just a little bit.
I mean, as a Cowboys fan, Jerry,
we've got a lot to go over. Now, go on with your question, but I'm going to give you the answers I want to give you this morning, and I don't like your attitude to come in. I've been traveling all night, and I don't have the patience to jack with you today.
I understand that, Jerry. I'm just saying, like, emotionally.
Let's get with it, and let's ask some questions.
All right.
Right kind of questions.
Is there any part of you that gets tired of hearing the questions about Garrett's job security, and do you understand why those questions keep coming up?
Of course I understand why they come up. Our fans are interested in they're frustrated that we're not playing better, and I understand that, and I know that goes with the territory. And so I fully expect to have those questions, and I know that if you really think about it, if I did have answers as to different directions regarding talent, if I did, I would not share them right now because, first of all, if you've got other team's talent in mind, that's tampering. Even if you had them something in mind, unless they're not involved in the National Football League right now, and it wouldn't be smart if they were involved other places.
Jerry Jones, in an effort to not say anything, Jerry did what Jerry always does. He said everything. He'll tell you his ATM codes by not wanting to tell you his ATM codes. Clearly, all the discussion about Lincoln Riley, that stuff doesn't get out by accident. The thoughts of maybe having Urban Meyer. Jason Garrett is done. But the bigger and more pertinent question, an important thing to think about if you're the Dallas Cowboys is, how good's Dak Prescott? We told you he was good to a point. Right? Some of this is maybe confirmation bias for me because during his rookie year, I said loud and clear, why aren't they bringing Tony Romo back? He's the better quarterback, gives him a better chance to win. You know, we saw it when Ezekiel Elliott was out. We saw it before they got Amari Cooper. We've seen it in big stretches. He's fine. But if you want to tell me it's more than about completion percentage, it's more than about numbers. It's about intangibles. Where are the intangibles now? The most important intangible asset is leadership. That is a position of leadership. And forget about whether or not he's accurate and throwing at dudes' feet when he's rolling out. Forget about going through progression reads and reloading. That's when his accuracy wanes. Forget about all that. This team lacks leadership. You wouldn't play like dog crap on the road on national TV in a must-win game against Chicago Bears if you had good leadership, let alone coaching that makes adjustments, and they did not. Man, Jera said so much, and so did the team. The team has told you it's not just coaching, it's leadership. It's not just coaching, it's quarterback play. And it's not just a potential NFL coach, it's a potential college coach. Jerry told you that by not telling you that. On the other hand, what do we make of the Bears? One game does not eliminate all the bad feelings about Mitch Trubisky. Sorry, call me Mitchell, whatever. But Mitchell Trubisky was good last night. Was he not? I felt like he was really good. I mean, it's not his fault David Montgomery fumbled and kind of left the door slightly ajar. They came in and smacked him around. When he didn't have what he wanted, he ran the football. They designed a game plan around his skill set. Trubisky was good last night. And this is the third straight win. Granted, first two over what you would call bad teams, but it doesn't matter. They all count as dubs for the Bears. And even though the Bears, similarly to the Cowboys, wanted to take the next step this year and have not, we do, rightfully so, we do make a big deal about these standalone primetime games. And I thought that was one of his brightest moments, or some of his brightest moments. He was solid. He was steady. He didn't make the big mistake. He looked fairly confident. Look, he threw one of the touchdown passes he threw at the end of the first half. The first two were deflected, and the third one, Jalen Smith tried to come in and rip it out of Allen Robinson's hand after Allen Robinson had it. But all three were absolute fastball strikes, perfectly thrown footballs. It's not enough for us to completely forget about the previous 6 losses or some of the previous missed throws or some of the things that we will forget ever think about Trubisky. But it does show that when he sticks to the script, which is, hey, go with what your eyes see, read what you read, and if you don't have it, use your athletic ability, playing to the strengths of this team, to the defense and to the offense and the scheming, it can still work. I don't know if you can win a Super Bowl this way. I don't think you can. But I also don't believe that the Bears are yet in a quarterback derby to find their next guy. We told you exactly what would happen, depending on who won and depending on who lost. Did we not? Yesterday, I painted this game as the drop-ad game. If the Cowboys lose, and especially how they lost, you're going to feel like they're on to their next coach. And if the Bears lost, they'd be on to the next quarterback. And the opposite is true with a win. Doesn't mean the Bears have a Johnny Unitas or a Joe Montana, but it does mean that they can find ways against talented defenses to be successful.
Hi, I'm Doug Gottlieb from Fox Sports Radio, and you need to subscribe to the Fox Sports Radio YouTube channel where you can hear and see me. Why not? Plus everybody else who's awesome here in Fox Sports Radio.